What's up, guys? This is Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to break down what's happening with Tesla and the overall market and also break down something very important that Elon Musk has said about the Robotaxi. Just know that I am not a financial planner. So, when it comes to Elon Musk and Tesla, we have some news that came out. Yesterday, Elon Musk confirmed that the company is going to be removing the safety monitors from the Robotaxis in Austin in just about 3 weeks from now. This is also meeting up with Elon Musk's timeline from earlier during the year that he will see no more supervision in Austin by the end of 2025, essentially, at least for the robotaxis. This is Elon Musk's exact quote. He said that unsupervised is pretty much solved at this point. So there will be Tesla robotaxis operating in Austin with no one in them, not even anyone in the passenger seat in about 3 weeks. So that's some very important news coming out. This also aligns with what he was saying for the last couple of months. Back in September, October, and November, on 3 occasions this year, Elon Musk was saying that he thinks that Tesla is going to be removing the safety monitors as soon as possible. This is a big news because you have to consider that Elon Musk and the team are telling us that they are going to be very cautious and very careful with the robotaxis. They need to make this as safe as possible. And that's the reason why they had these safety monitors, for the safety of the public. That was their top priority. So for them to confidently tell us that they're going to eventually remove them, that is evidence that the robotaxi in Austin is becoming more and more efficient. It's getting so much better at mapping the city, and it's really good at handling real world scenarios. Even if there's like a child that runs across the street, the robotaxi has the technology to slam the brakes and do what's necessary. It just goes to show that they're making lots of improvements, and this is some big news that the robotaxi is finally getting closer to becoming autonomous. So that's very, very big news, at least so far. And we're going to see what happens as time goes on. This is not really affecting Tesla stock too much. We're still waiting for FOMC. As a reminder, the interest rate decision comes out at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There's about a 90% chance the Fed's going to give us a 25 basis point cut. That's almost confirmed at this moment. But at 2 o'clock p.m., we have the interest rate projections coming out for the first, second, and third year out, alongside what we're seeing for the longer term. And then we have the press conference with Jerome Powell giving a speech and then answering questions at 2:30 p.m. So expect some volatility at 2 and 2:30, but until then, we're just chopping around. So not much is going on with Tesla. There's no break to the upside or the downside. I do expect us to chop for now. Then we're going to see if Jerome Powell ends up causing us to run, or if he gives the market a rug pull that could drag Tesla down. So be very careful, but get ready for FOMC. It's possible that this is kind of like an inverse cup and handle. If we're going to reject here, if this is a lower high, there is a risk of some kind of downside move, in my opinion, but we'll see just to be safe. It depends on if Tesla loses 443 to dip to 435. On SPY, what is a little bit bearish is that this kind of resembles a left shoulder head and then a possible right shoulder for a SPY to start dipping lower. For now, we're just consolidating, but if we lose 682 and can't hold it for 4 hours, even after Jerome Powell's speech, we will be dipping more. We are choppy right now, so it's kind of hurting premiums. So there's not really much happening at the moment, but in the future, maybe after Jerome Powell's speech or something, there is a risk of downside for now, at least from a technical basis. Of course, not guaranteed, but it's just a strong possibility, okay? Same thing with the QQQ. There is a risk of downside with this left shoulder, head and right shoulder, especially if 623 fails us. We're looking for 619, then 614. But it depends on what happens with the news and Jerome Powell. I'm not guaranteeing the setup will pan out. I'm just saying there is a risk of downside looking at the current setups. On the IWM, we tend to reject near 252 and bounce near 248. Could be dipping to 250 and 248 again, and we'll see what happens. On ES, we have a head and shoulders. We're going to see if we can break past 68.57. If not, I'm looking for some consolidation and dip back down to the lower 6800s. On NQ, we also have a head and shoulders like pattern. We're going to see how well we hold 25,562. If we don't, we could be dipping more. On Bitcoin, we're range bound between 94,000 and 90,000 flat. We're in the middle, so we're going to see if we dip lower towards 90,000. On Tesla, like I said, we have an inverse cup and handle, and we're going to see if we dip back down to 443, then eventually 436. On Nvda, we're range bound right now, but notice that we have a risk of more downside if we can't get back above 184. We're looking for 180 as a strong possibility. Aapl is showing some strength. We're looking at resistance around 278.8. If that breaks, we're looking for the 280s, but if we lose support, we could be dipping back down to 275. On Palantir, we're looking for like 188 as a resistance. It has some upside potential after a big contract was signed. AMD is showing some weakness. We're going to see if 219 holds. If not, we're looking for 218 next. On Coinbase, we basically have 271 as our support. If that fails us, we're looking for 270 flat. On Amazon, we're holding up nicely. We're going to be looking for a dip back down to 230, though, if this rejects. On Meta, we're going to see if we could hold 464. I could see us retest, and we'll see if it holds. Google is going to be at risk of retesting 317. If that fails us, we could be dipping to 315. And then Microsoft could be dipping back down towards 475. Last but not least, the VIX is on an uptrend. We're going to see if this breaks 17.56. If it does, there's going to be more potential for it to go higher in correlation with the market potentially dipping. So we're choppy for now. We're going to see if the head and shoulders pan out on SPY and the QQQ. Tesla is also very, very choppy right now between 450 and 443 essentially. That's the main range from the pre-market, and for now we're just kind of chopping, but there is a risk of us retesting 443, and Tesla could be looking for a rejection in case Jerome Powell causes the rug pull. We'll see how it ends up going, so be unbiased, but nonetheless, I'm still very excited about Tesla's Robotaxi for the future and big updates to come. Thank you for listening, and peace out.